reality check 2.0, another abysmal performance from Chelsea. Let's get straight into the 3 points. Okay, now the first thing that I think really needs to be rectified is the lack of competition in our positions. Now, at the moment, I'm sure that a lot of fans will agree with me when I say that there's no competition in any of the positions, especially the goalkeeping position. Because if you think about it, Mendy is considered the first choice, Kepa is that as a replacement, and when Mendy was away for AFCON, he came straight back into the team and he played the Carabao Cup final, and he played yet again in the Club World Cup final as well. So that's just said in succinct now that Kepa was just playing as that backup to Mendy until he came back, and to me that really isn't good. That's not a good message to send to a goalkeeper who's had his fair share of having that confidence issue, that mental aspect of not having that strength, because we've seen that last season he had a poor start, he had a horrible period, and when he came back into the few games he was doing well. People will probably say that the Leicester game, the FA Cup final, probably is a reason why he's not really trusted in those finals, but I don't really think it's fair to really drop somebody after, for example, the Carabao Cup. He played in each round leading up to the final, so to not start him is pretty odd, because you trusted him against a Brentford team, you trusted him against a Southampton team. Why not trust him against Liverpool when he has done so well? He's the reason why he made it that far, winning the penalty shootout for them, saving 2 penalties against Southampton. And it really isn't good. It doesn't send a good message, and there's no competition there. And I don't really think I need to go into deep detail about the left back and right back situation. I think a lot of fans understand now that the left back position needs good recruitment, and I think people get this wrong as well. Backup plan. The backup plan basically means that if the initial plan doesn't work out, the second plan that you have is still able to do the job and do it at a similar level to how the first choice would do. And that's not what we have right now. The left back situation is we have Alonso and Kennedy. Alonso is slow. He's good defensively, but he's not quick enough. He's slow. So as a result, it's going to make him look poor defensively. He's good defensively. He can win aerial threats. He can do things like that. But because he's slow, he can't get back in time. And another point for me just proved how he always goes back to the summer window, not signing in, bringing in players, that could have helped the team. Left back situations, we had a lot of players on the market that are actually good enough that we could have gotten without having to spend 80 million or 70 million and trying to spend that large amount on. People may say that the money that we spend trying to get Lukaku in and getting him in, we could have done that to get Tchouaméni in and get a left back in at least, because the left back situation is one that is more unique. We have Alonso. Kennedy was brought back from his loan, and Kennedy's not even getting a sniff in. He's like he's there, just in case Alonso gets injured or something. We give Kennedy. Kennedy has played a game. He has played before, and I mean he was alright. He wasn't the greatest, obviously, but he was not very bad. He made some good crosses. When he played against, I think it was Plymouth, or I don't remember. Forgive me, but if I got the name wrong. But he did quite well when he came back. But the left back is more unique because we don't really have competition there. And for me, I always say that even if you're looking at this player as a backup, they should be able to say that, what, you're having a bad game. So if I get an opportunity, I'm gonna make a name for myself and I'm gonna keep you out. And that's what Alonso had to do. Alonso was saying that Chilwell was at the club. He was getting an opportunity to readapt to the system because he hadn't played for England at all. So it was taking him some time, to get back to a grip of playing football after not playing since the Champions League final after not playing for England in the Euros. So he had to keep on his toes. Alonso had to keep on his toes because he knew that at any moment, the moment he's not performing well, Chilwell can easily come back in, and he was performing. That's why at the beginning of the season, you saw him putting out those quick performances or having at least a 6 out of 10 performance in the beginning. But as soon as Chilwell got injured, he knew that that competition is gone. So if he drops a stinker, he's still going to be playing. But Tuchel has tried to find certain ways, and to me, what highlighted the fact that we were poor in the window in the summer and even the January window. People say that there's no good ones out there, but we could have tried to get Sousa. We could have tried to get Lodi, from Atletico Madrid, because they're all good enough and they're not going to be this 80 million, but now they're going to, because they're doing quite well at their clubs and they're going to be valued higher. So even Goldson was available. Yes, he was injured. Get him in. He was going to return in February at the time, because in January he was injured, but February he'll be back. So we would have hired him on the left. So to me, what really highlighted the fact that we were poor in those windows is the fact that we're playing Aspi, who is not the quickest, against a Real Madrid who had such great fluidity. And this video is not really a review of that game, because I think there's a lot of reviews out there, people saying that echoing the same thing, and I don't like to echo people. So I'm going to be sticking to this. But that's the first point for me, and if you agree, let me know. If you disagree, let me know as well. The second point for me is there needs to be an evaluation of the midfield. Yes, people say that we have Kante and Kante is good, but let's be realistic. This entire season, he has not been the Kante that we know. He has not been. From the beginning, he hasn't been as good as he needs to. Yes, he's won the ball back in a lot of games, but he hasn't been the same. He hasn't been the same. And we need to open our eyes at the fact that he is getting older. He's in his 30s now. And we need to get youthful players in. And we can use Real Madrid for example. Real Madrid still play, that three duo in the midfield, Modric, Casemiro and Kroos. But they do have younger ones, and they're going in for Camavinga. They got Camavinga. They're going in for Tchouaméni. They're making their team youthful, getting younger players, and that's what we need to do as well. And to me, I'll always be pissed that the scouts, and the scout is going to be a part of this point as well, that the scouts said that Tchouaméni was not ready for the Premier League. And to me, that makes no sense. If you don't think he's ready, get him in, slowly embed him into the team, let him adapt slowly, give him a 15 minutes here, 20 minutes there, like Real Madrid is doing with Camavinga, giving him those little cameo appearances. And that's what they did against Chelsea in the Champions League. They gave him the last 15 minutes or 15 plus minutes to get a grip of the game, start to make his impact. So they will play him in some games, but they will slowly play him. And Ancelotti is a good man manager. He's able to manage each player's game time, give them it. Obviously, people will say that Bale isn't playing, Hazard isn't playing when the team can probably need him. But he's good when it comes out to that midfield thing. He plays Modric, he plays Casemiro, he plays Kroos, but he will also make substitutions with younger players as well, with Camavinga as an example. So Chelsea can use that philosophy as well. And if the owner comes in, Todd Bowley is probably the favourite. But if he comes in, if he's actually the owner and he says he wants to do an FSG, type of method, hope he doesn't entirely do that, because the method that Liverpool uses isn't really the greatest, but they don't spend tremendous amount every season, 100 million. They have spent that in the past, and that's what they did. And in the 2018-2019 season, they lost the league by points, literally 2 points. I think it was, or 1 point. So if he uses that method, that's good, because that means he won't be spending extravagantly, and the regret won't be there should those players not work out. So for example, if we spend 100 million and the players don't perform well, it won't be such a big blow. If the players were 20 million, yes, it's still a waste, but 20 million is less than having to spend 100 million and those people flopping. So we need to make the midfield younger, and I think that's the situation. We have Billy Gilmore, yes, but Billy Gilmore is not up the level that we need right now. He's good, and I think with another loan, he could become that level. But Camavinga was another player we're going to see coming. Tchouaméni, get him in as well. Billy Gilmore is another one you can bring him in as well. Camavinga as well, and we develop a new midfield. It's as simple as that. And the scouts, really need new scouts as well, because the scouts, if you're going to be scouting somebody who's injured, like a Saul gets for 3 years, when he was injured, I don't know what you're doing then, because if you're going to be injured, if you're going to be scouting someone who's injured, that's mad. That is absolutely crazy. You're a crazy person. You don't deserve a job. And I mean, to me that makes no sense. But the scouts, they need to be refreshed. We need new ones. We need ones that will actually go for the unknowns. Look at it, because people like Lowdy and Rayom. Atletico Madrid got Lowdy from not from Atletico Libertadores, I think it is, and that's what they did. They're going into deep places. Look around, go for the unknowns, go for the people who are not being looked at. That Germany left back that created the assist for Kai Havertz, Rayom. He's at Hoffenheim. Look at him as well. He's quality. He can play as a midfielder, but that's the Bundesliga, so he may not be able to do that there. But he's a good left back. He scores goals. He's like a chiller, and he can cross the ball as well. And that's something that we need on that left. We have it on the right in Reece James. Having that on the left is really beautiful, because Kai Havertz is good at getting to those areas, getting his heads on the ball. So that is good. And that's what we need on the left and the right. So we need midfielders, we need left backs, and we need to get scouts that will actually go out and not just look at who's doing this, who's scoring this amount of goals, because we need to look at the traits to see if the team is not doing well, what will they offer? Will they do what Kai Havertz in that in the game against Real Madrid, working his way, working 4-dimensional, not working 1-dimensional, coming down to defend, getting the ball, trying to slide in to get the ball, creating chances for his team, is creating his own chances, getting to the areas that can lead to goals. Will they do that? Not go for players like a Werner who you see scoring goals, wait for a player like Lukaku who's scoring goals. Look at what they offer to their teams overall and not only scoring, because in those little details, if they're able to create for themselves, do what Kai Havertz did, that is fantastic. But to add that pressure on that player, and to me I find it weird that a 22-year-old is outperforming, players like a 26-year-old, 28-year-old, 30-year-olds who have more experience in the game. A 22-year-old is outperforming them. That's never good. So I think that needs to be evaluated as well. Now the last point is, and the third thing that I think needs to be rectified is the attack. Now we know that Werner isn't really offering much. He works hard, but we need goals as well. You can't just be seeing work, and we don't see any goals, because if you can work, you can be getting passes to somebody, but it doesn't mean that that's going to be a goal. We need to score goals as well. And for me, I think the tie is over between Real Madrid and Chelsea. I think Real Madrid will make it through, because that's not something good for me to be saying as a Chelsea fan. But I don't really have confidence in the attack that they'll be able to outscore Real Madrid, because the thing that they're not going to score against at the Bernabeu, that is unrealistic, because they're at home, they'll be scoring goals, and if we're going to be offering them, and I think we said it rightfully, he was blunt, he was not sugarcoating anything. If we played the way that we did against Southampton, we don't even think about the game against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, because we're going to be hungry, we're going to get battered. So we need to find some way, even if there's a little hope. The attack needs to be set one way. We don't need to be switching around here, switching around that, because that affects chemistry. If you have a good attack here, stick with them for another game. Stop changing it. Have some consistency in the attack. You can't be switching it, because that's not, you're gonna affect chemistry. You can't be switching it here, switching it there, switching it here, switching it there. That's not good, because that's not a good chemistry. People have to readapt to play with each other, because they used to play with this person, this person, so it's going to become confusing. So we need to find a way to get the ability of sticking with that attack. And like I said, Kai Havertz outperforming everybody else. Mount, who's been in and around the team, around other teams as well, having that creativity, people say he does. He should have been able to see the space that Real Madrid were leaving, and he wasn't. Kai Havertz was able to see that. He was creating, he was coming back, he was getting to those tight spaces, getting the ball back, making those little passes to Pulisic. Pulisic obviously taking the shot at Kurtzwell. So, little details like that. You can't be having a 22-year-old who is still adapting to the English league, and to this team, coming from Bayern Leverkusen, and he's performing way better for Germany than at Chelsea, and he's starting to add that form at Chelsea now. You cannot be looking at it as something positive, because you cannot be having a 22-year-old outperforming a 26-year-old, a 27-year-old, a 28-year-old. and that's not good. It really isn't. It really isn't good. And for me, the attack needs to be consistent. You can't be switching it this, switching it that. And that's Tuchel's downfall as well. He never knows how to trust people in the attack. And I mean, difference between at Dortmund and PSG is that they had pace. Pulisic has pace, but I think the injuries have hampered that. He's not confident. The only person that who really has that work rate is Callum Hudson-Odoi, but he's crap when it comes down to shooting and finishing. So there's not really much satisfaction. Callum Hudson-Odoi has pace, but he doesn't have that end product. And at Dortmund, he had that in Aubameyang, you had that in Asensio, you have that at the time Dembele, but no, he doesn't have that. So he doesn't have it, but at the same time, you have to stick with, try to find the best answer. Try to make deal with what you have, because I keep saying this, Tuchel has inherited a squad that isn't his, but at the same time, try to find the best way. And you know, I kept saying this last season, and at the beginning of the season, next season, at the time, I was saying next season or this season, we're going to be playing more games, not less than last season, because winning the Champions League, then we have to play the Super Cup and the Club World Cup, so we need a stronger squad, we need more depth. And like I keep saying, we have the squad size, but we don't have the depth quality in that squad. So if this player is out, and we've seen it, Chilwell being injured, Chilwell isn't the greatest at crossing, but he's good at shooting and he's good at getting the ball in the back of the net. So you need that quality, you need that ability to have that wide players doing well to accommodate the attack and to help them out whenever it's necessary. But those are the three things that I think needs to be rectified. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you think your three things are that needs to be rectified. Let me know. I'm interested to see what people say. Thanks for watching again. Peace, have a good one, and stay safe. Keep the blue flag flying high for Chelsea fans. I know this was a disappointing game to watch. It was pretty heartbreaking for a lot of people who went to the game. But let's keep our head up. Let's look ahead to the Southampton game. See you next time. Peace.